am wet. It is dripping in my ass crack, in my toe cracks, on my face. Like, all of the cracks in my body are sweating.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Button of the Week. We're your Buttons babes. I'm Melissa Brayboy.
I'm Melissa Vasquez. This week we're going to be talking about modern dating. First, let's get into our push to start. You want to go?
Okay, all right. This one took me a minute because it was kind of embarrassing, but it has been bothering me for more than just a week now.
Ooh.
So as a woman, I didn't realize how many changes you go through in your life. And the other, like, I was talking about...
Shout out to the education system.
Bro, shout out to my mother. I was talking to her in the car the other day, and I was like, you know what? I need to ask an older woman this. Like, my BO, like, I smell like fucking onions lately, and I don't know what's happening. I've changed my deodorant. I've changed my body wash. I'm taking pH pills. I've done all of the fucking things. She's like, oh, baby, your hormones are changing. Your body, like, is in its 30s, and it's like, put a baby in me. I was like, so now I have to fucking smell now? I smell terrible. And maybe it's just me and my sense of smell is heightened. Like, cause lately, like, I can smell everything. And sometimes I'm like, I don't remember ever being this foul. And I'm so upset.
Okay, I have looked into, yes, I guess I didn't equate it to like our age, but I also one day was like, okay, I've been doing everything that I should be eating and doing to not smell like this, and what I looked up was it's like a stress. It was stress.
No.
Stress.
No.
It was stress, and it was like, you need magnesium. So I started spraying myself with magnesium, and I usually don't smell like that.
I hate it here.
I'll give you my magnesium spray.
I haven't gotten to the magnesium yet. I've done all of the things, and it's, anyway, yes, so my body's like, hey, babies, let's go. It's like, no, bitch, slow down.
I've been too warm lately, and I thought I was going through hot flashes. Really not excited for, yes, what we do and don't know about our hormones.
There's puberty, then you hit your 30s and your biological clock, then it's the breaking down of them. I'm like, you know what?
Menopause.
I'm also curious for our male listeners, like throughout life, do you ever sense a change of like smell in your BO or sweating more than you usually do? Because also I have become this really sweaty bitch. But yeah, so that's my push to start. No, wait.
Mine is also, I guess, kind of comical. Okay, I'm sad. It's a summer baby. We're the best, but also we get shat on in all of the fucking Zodiac things, which listen, however you feel about them, I'm not a Zodiac bitch, but I am when it's a video and I can find out what cat I am based on my month. Okay, so this week I found a really great creator on Instagram. I'll link her below. She loves us December babies, and I've been watching her videos on repeat because I'm getting all the good ones. I also got Leia. If you don't know me, I obviously like Star Wars.
Oh,
so
I was like, wait, what?
In the Star Wars compilation, sorry for everyone who's born in the spring because you did her dirty. But I got Leia and it was the best news. So.
Dude, y'all get the most shit because you are mean.
We're just opinionated.
Okay, very blunt, yes, but that's why y'all get, but also clearly I have a lot of Sages in my life. Anyway.
I have a lot of Tauri. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Right? We work well together. Like, I'm a nice hi. You're like, no, back off. Like, anyway, moving on to our button of the week.
This week, button of the week, modern dating.
Oh, baby.
What a topic.
I'm trying to enjoy it here. Really, I am. Anyway, so we want to dive into the standards versus expectations when dating. So what's a standard? Right? Also.
How dare you?
I'm also sweating about this because I'm like getting back onto the definition. A standard is like the quality of something that you're looking to attain versus the expectation is what you believe is going to happen in the future, right? So thinking about the standards that you have for your dating life, like the actual dates that you go on and the courting process and the standard of individual, and then the expectations based off of your standards. And I was a little triggered because I realized I have really high standards. However, I don't always follow my own standards. Like, and I'm
Raise your hand if you've ever been personally victimized by your own standards.
like, because
As you're saying that out loud in my head, I'm also like,
I was going.
what?
I was like, I don't know if I want to do this episode anymore because I realized I have some shit to change. And I was like, why is this like? Anyway,
So what is an example of a standard that you have, but you don't have?
a standard that I have that versus one that I don't have.
Like that you have it, but you're not holding that standard accountable. That was like a tricky that you were like, why are we here? Or an expectation that you're like, the math isn't
I have a
mathing.
standard of communication. Like
True, that is
the
one of your most
quality
basic.
Yes, the quality of communication in terms of, checking in, not like one of my biggest pet peeves, and which indicates to me like my expectation of someone who sends the how you been or what's up every single time to do the check-in. You know what I mean? Like there's just this blanket of, I'm like,
The hi message. What does that
right?
mean?
I'm like, what are we talking about? How you been? How's your day? And occasionally, totally fine. Totes, right? But if that's your
That's the
entryway every time, I'm like, nah, your communication skills are not up to par with my standards and the way in which I speak and communicate with others. I get the small talk to get things going, but I'm busy. I got shit to do. If you want to talk to me, please make it
Substantial.
Thank you, that word. And I realize that's a standard that I have, and within my friendships, 10-10, it's solid. Like the way in which we check in with each other, pick up the phone, FaceTime, however. But in regards to my dating life and trying to find a partner, I realize I'm not holding them to that because I will entertain the, hey queen, hey, how's your day? I'm like, oh, what up, mommy? I'm like, oh, stop, I can't do it.
Haven't we all had a DM boyfriend like that though? Not necessarily only in your DMs. So someone that you're like,
I hate it.
okay, I guess.
And as I go back through that, I'm like, oh, all right, we got to do better. Time to do better.
Listen,
yes.
I have been with boyfriend now too many years, like 4 or 5. I don't even remember what my standards of dating were, but they were significantly different pre him because I was not actually dating anyone specifically. So yeah, I really had to think about what my standards were.
Okay, but what about the standard that you hold boyfriend to now?
I mean, now it's, I think, kind of morphed into like, I expect him to listen to me when I need something. I expect him to like communicate. I mean, we're both okay at communicating. Sometimes we're not. We're working on that. I think my expectations from him aren't huge. Like, I don't know, I expect food. He's really good
gotta eat.
He's really good about that.
I love you.
Yeah, I think I don't really know what my expectations are anymore.
Do you feel like it's because, and it's not a bad thing, but you guys have fallen into a pattern?
Yeah,
or like
we have a pattern. I expect him to date me and not someone else. Like, yeah, maybe I am really bad at standards versus expectations.
I love it. Okay, all right. So I'm curious, y'all, what are some standards that you have in terms of dating? Like, oh, it gets really...
It can get a little murky. I think one thing with being in a relationship now is we're not going on dates the same, right? I think that's something when you're dating an expectation and a standard. Sorry, I didn't have anything to say, but now I have something to say.
I love it. Let's get in it.
So I think like when you're dating, you're expecting that person to kind of like lead into like, what is the date that you're asking me on? And I do still kind of have that expectation. If he's like, hey, I want to go do something. Okay, then you set that up for me. Do you want to do it? Then let's make it happen. Like, I'm happy to attend things, but like, I don't want to plan it if it's not my thing. So I think that's a standard expectation ? That like, I think doesn't change from being like a single person dating to in a relationship, because like, it's easy to fall into the like, oh, we're together now, so we don't have to go out, so we don't have to like plan fun things, but then who wants to stay home all the time?
You do.
I mean, I do, but also I don't. Like, I do like to go out once in a while.
This homebody bitch. Anyway, like, it's interesting for me when we're sitting here and we're talking about it, I got a little uncomfortable because thinking about the standards that I have and understanding that I have them, but I didn't want to vocalize them because I didn't want to seem like a bitch. And I didn't want to be like, oh, but the thing is like, no, okay, I need you to have a job. I need you to be like, have your own place and have your shit together. I need you to be like working towards something and be passionate about it. I have a really hard time dating individuals who are complacent, like, and are very just robotic in their life. Not in the sense of they have structure and habits. 10-10, love that. But more so like
going through the motions.
Yeah, like, I'm happy here. This is all that I want. I'm like, what? I don't relate. And so...
So, like, settling.
Yes.
In a way. Okay. I think that's a fair... I don't think most people want to say, like, out loud, like, I'm okay settling. Because, yeah, like, what are you settling?
And so, like, when you ask me and I'm listing off these things in my bread, somebody's hungry. In my...
You need a boyfriend who feeds you!
Yes, I do. We're gonna get into that. I'm also realizing, those expectations, I sometimes let them go by the wayside because it's like, well, this is what's here and in front of me right now. And I'm like, oh no, baby. So I'm like, okay, then we wait. So stop setting, like, because your standards are high and you are like letting go of your expectations so that I'm not gonna be disappointed. I'm like, damn, you can wait for
setting yourself to avoid the failure that you inevitably are succumbing to, ?
And so it's like, in that whole saying of, if you don't have expectations, you won't be disappointed. And it's like, no, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm tired of being disappointed.
True. Anyway, sliding from one disappointment into the other. Okay, so when someone meets your standards and expectations, whatever they may be, don't at me. Okay, so you found this person. They're like, hey queen, hope you're having a fabulous day. I'm thinking of you. I want to see you later. Okay, I want to see you later, right? That's going somewhere. That's going somewhere. Please. And then that's it. And then that's crickets. Oh. How, like, is it enough for you with someone who's new? We're courting this person. Ooh. Is it enough for you that they're like, hey, I just want to see you, and that's it? I want to see you today. And I'm kind of saying this with like a giggle to Alyssa because
she set me up.
Because I know that we've been sitting on the couch before and she's gotten these. So
it's
please tell us how you feel.
So, originally, like when you get the message, oh my God, I feel so great. Okay, yes, thank you for taking initiative. I want to see you too. And then as the day progresses, like I'll text back and be like, hey, I'm having a great day. I would also love that. What do you have in mind? And then there's nothing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bruh, going back to my original standard of communication. If something came up, cool. Let a bitch know. How hard is that? Like,
do I need to wear a dress? Do I need to put deodorant on? Do I need to eat beforehand?
Are you just gonna stop
Is there gonna be a bathroom?
What time?
Yeah.
Like,
Can I go to bed on time? If I have yoga, like...
Because what I'm not gonna do, because I have done in the past, is I'm not gonna pry at you to do something that you said you wanted to do. You said you want to see me.
I'm not trying to blow your phone up and be that lady, then you're like, never mind.
Right, and so 10-10, it's lovely
plan.
at first, but if you were going to send that message, you better fucking follow up. Because I'm
if you don't have a plan, then also just be like, hey, I want to see you. No idea what I'm doing. Do you want to do anything? Also no. Okay,
or
then
can you help me?
Then
help me figure it out.
Right, and that's because again, that's communication.
Right.
If you just want to see me, cool. Then let's see me. But like, maybe I don't want to just see you. So let me dress up. Tell me we can go somewhere.
To me, in my brain, it's that simple because at this grown age, I'm like, no, next. And that will, I have discovered, because I was doing some research into our topic for this week, right? And Elsa tells me this all the fucking time. She tells me I am capable of doing this, but for the life of me, I haven't been able to. There was a dating expert. I will also link her below. I forgot her name off the top of my head. She was on Good Morning America. 3 things to be okay with doing in dating in 2024. And the one that stood out to me is block. Just block them. There are so many ways to, like, for people to get access to us, social media, emails,
Venmo.
And so it was wild to me. I'm like, I have men pop in and out of my life when it is convenient for them. They'd be like that have fallen off, be like, hey, yo, like, I want to see you. Let's go. And I'm like, no. The only thing that has been consistent is your inconsistency. I'm good. You're wasting my time. Block. I have been blocking people lately and it feels fucking amazing because you're just gonna keep doing it. It's a pattern. And so I'm like, no, people will do what you allow them to. So anywho,
yeah.
I had to reel it in because I was like, somebody's getting mad. And so like, let's go back to, so we just talked about, like, because I'm a dating
standards,
individual.
expectations.
Yes.
What do you want to do when you're on a date? Like, actually plan it out. Yeah, that's super crucial.
So how does that work for you and boyfriend in terms of,
if I want to go somewhere, I'm like, hey,
are you planning? Okay, yeah.
I want to go to this thing, right? Okay, so here's the date, here's the information. Okay, I'll get the tickets unless he's like, cool, I'll get the things. I think it's fair for our situation. We both like different things, different music, and so I'll go to things that he likes, he'll go to the things that I like, but we both plan it for the other person, so it's fingers crossed, as little work as possible other than showing up. Is that always the case? No, I have definitely dropped the ball. He has dropped the ball, but also that's a little grace that we give each other. But I mean, I'm doing no spend Feb successfully.
You're so close.
I am so motherfucking close. It's true. And he's been really respectful of that this month of like, okay, well, we would normally maybe go to this and he'll pay for it. And I'm like, no, because no spend Feb.
Wait. Are you both doing no spend Feb?
I'm doing no spend Feb, and he's by proxy kind of doing no spend Feb. We'll go out like maybe once every other week for him to like go somewhere because he's not a homebody like me. But yeah, he's supporting me in that. So like we've had low key dates, watching a movie, cooking together, mostly me drinking, watching him cooking. You know, I buy the ingredients. He cooks it.
I love it because I get to partake, y'all. Boyfriend's a great cook. I vouch. Michelin star over there.
I think something that's, and I'm gonna scoop over you. Something that like we have worked through is, so it's not just like him planning a date and then me being there and being like, okay, like, cool, you made dinner, I've got shit to do, bye, or whatever. I think that is a thing that
being present
can be hard when you're in a relationship sometimes of like, all the fireworks are gone maybe, but you still have to, like, you're still there. You're still dating that person. So, yeah, like, sometimes a night in can be like a night out if you both put in the effort to make it feel like a night out, even though it's a night in.
No, we followed.
That, that took me a second. But I think like I have been guilty of that on like real dates, not committed relationship dates. Also in the past of like I'm here, I showed up, right? Like for whatever reason,
like,
I obviously
really
wasn't into that person.
There?
Yeah,
did you know prior?
Oh, sometimes for sure. Okay, but also to preface that, prior to me like really thinking about like wanting to be in a committed relationship with someone, I had a chunk of time that I was only concerned about certain body parts. So those are the dates that I was on that I was like, I'm not trying to put effort in here because I just want that body part. I just am trying to get one thing. So I understand that it's important to make sure you're not doing that throughout your dating experience, but I wanted to to disclaim that like
intentional here. Time to date intentionally.
Men and women, all people can be guilty of that.
Yeah, love to hear it because totes the opposite. And so, like, I kind of calling back to I think this would be an expectation in those dates. And I'll share my thoughts on this. Splitting the check, is that were you someone that was like,
okay,
I expect for him to pay for this? Or did you expect it's like, yo, this is gonna be 50-50 because I want one thing? Or was it like, now you paying for this because I'm giving you this one thing?
So, okay, let's see. The phases that I have gone through.
Oh, that's interesting.
At all points of my life, no matter where I was financially, independently, or like modern thinking wise, I still, in the very back of my mind, kind of expect the date that I'm on for them to at least consider it, right? To be
consider paying for the whole
I got it. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Depending where in my like interest of that person was, then would I offer to pay? Yes.
Oh.
In instances of like I'm actually interested in the person, or like I suggested this expensive restaurant, or like I was the only one eating or drinking, like those are things that I've definitely taken into consideration. Now that I am a different person and in a committed relationship.
Oh, that does make it different.
It does. It makes it different. We do split the check sometimes. He still feels weird about us like openly splitting the check sometimes. So I will sometimes be like, okay, I'll Venmo you later. Or like, you can hand them my card if it's something that I'm like, no, this was my choice to come here and pay, or like this big meal. So like, okay, you can hand them my card.
That I love. In terms of that you can hand them my card. I have.
Okay, I stole that from another person that I follow on social who is the breadwinner of their relationship as well. And her partner was significantly more upset about splitting the check, and so she said, I have to do this. And so from that I like said, hey, in these instances, would it be okay if I did this?
Okay.
Because I was like, I'm not trying to.
See, I'm in my regular dating, like real dating life. Anyway, sorry, y'all. I had to separate the two in my brain. Moving on. I have the expectation, especially the first couple of dates, for them to pay. If you have planned this date, you want to take me out, you want to do this thing, then I do expect for you to pay, and I'm not splitting the check.
You planned it, you
like,
paid it.
right?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Now, as I go down the line and we've been on a few dates and I want to do something, I have no problem being like, no, let me cover this. Let me do it. I don't want to split it. Like, I want to treat you to something. Like, you showed me like on an amazing time. I want to show you how I plan. I want to pour into you the same way you've been pouring into me.
You're a very good like tit for tat in that respect of like, okay, you did this, now I'm gonna do this.
Right, and just keeping like that mental, like I'm not, I guess it is like keeping
you're
tabs,
not literally,
but it's like, no, like it's fair. I'm a fan of being fair. And on the few occasions where I have split the check, it's because I know, bro, I'm never gonna see you again. Like, I don't, like, I actually didn't even enjoy myself to the point where I don't want you paying for my food. I don't want you thinking that you helped me do anything. I don't even want you to feed me. Like, based off of the conversations with these individuals, like, nah, I can take care of myself. Like, I chose to be here.
The independent girl struggle.
So she sometimes, like, on dates with some of these dudes, I'm like, bruh, get the fuck out of here.
Because that's like exactly who should pay for it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be.
I wish I could have let him. There's a
But
piece of me
no,
that's, like, spend that money,
but you can't exactly because
no,
you're like
like,
I
no.
can fucking take care of myself.
Right, and I'm going to
Thank
show you. And I'm going to show you that you ain't shit. I don't care about your money. Do I like money? Do I like being taken care of? Absolutely. But not at the expense of
Not by you.
Right.
Not by
at
you.
the expense of, not pride, but like of my, whatever the fuck that word is. Like, no, not at the expense of you. Anyway, yes. So, it's like, okay. I have a great reference here, but y'all don't at me because I haven't actually seen it, and I know bad on me. But the Cheesecake Factory thing that went viral, the bitch who pulled out her phone and started recording him for taking her to the Cheesecake Factory because she didn't think it was good enough. Excuse me, what is wrong with you? Like, Mom, you've seen it, right?
I've seen it. I've
Okay,
seen it.
great.
I've seen so
Thank
many.
you, 'cause I was like, how am I supposed
I've seen
to
so
talk
many,
about this and not
like
seen it?
shared versions of it. I have so many feelings. Also, one, I don't like the Cheesecake Factory. I don't fucking like the Cheesecake Factory.
Why?
And that's a me thing coming from the Midwest. I can't with the chain restaurants and the 27 billion things on the fucking menu. No, what are you good at? What are you good at? I also don't like cheesecake. At me if you want. I hate with HATE capital cheesecake.
So you would have pulled out your phone and filmed
No,
it?
I also would not have done that. I also would not have done that. But I do. Okay, so for me, para me, I think that I would be okay with a first date being at a chain restaurant.
Okay.
If I knew that was like if that's what was within reach of us. Mm-hmm. Like if we lived in the middle of Iowa, right? That's okay. We're gonna go to Applebee's. Have a $5 margarita and I don't know, the $5, no, it's not that. Whatever their thing is, that's fine. I don't live in that part of Iowa. I live here in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. Take me to a chain restaurant unless it is Outback. Different story.
Okay.
Unless it's Outback, do not do that to me. Take me to a taco stand.
Facts. Okay, you know what? I love a taco stand.
Right.
I'm not mad at it. Like, to me, it's about the good food.
It doesn't have to be an expensive meal.
It
But
doesn't.
it should not be a chain. Para me, living here. If we lived in Ding dong,
okay.
wherever,
All right.
Sure.
I just thought it's so disrespectful, and it actually shows more of who you are to do something like that. You don't know why he chose that restaurant. I did some research. I didn't watch the video. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. That he actually enjoys the restaurant. He has fond memories of it when he was a kid. Like, he likes that it has lots of options, because sometimes bitches be picky eaters. People be picky eaters. People.
It's me, Jessica.
And so to me, it's like the audacity. And this is just making dating that much harder on both sides. We are missing each other. We're not talking to each other, we're reacting to each other. And it's really fucking annoying because I like communication. And I'm like, y'all are making it hard out here for the people who actually want to intentionally date. It is not about, like, how many dates are you taking me on? What are you paying for? Oh, I'm only gonna sleep with you if you spend this amount of money. Bitch, bye.
Right.
Like, it makes me angry. We're adults at this grown age. What do you want?
That's
Like,
I think the other thing is
playing
like
these games. Sorry.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Like, something I'm passionate about because I'm low-key trying to want to be in a fucking committed relationship. I got shit to do. I want a partner. Okay, you go.
And you're done playing games. Yes. I think that, like, yes, you said it. You just need to communicate. If I'm not happy with the restaurant that I've been brought to, if it's that big a deal, I'll say something. If it's not that big a deal, great, move on. When I was first dating, had an issue with coffee dates, okay?
Really?
I was like, first of all, I don't drink coffee. If you know me, I drink tea.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That makes sense.
All that aside, I was like, what do you mean, like, coffee in the middle of the day? Gasp. Like, what? And again, because I was trying to get into their pants, not into their fucking
and
feelings.
it comes out.
Okay, so like, yes, years ago that was the thing. Now I think non-traditional dates, not just coffee dates, I think it's a good way of getting to know a person. I went on a horrifically great second date with someone. I said I liked hiking. Okay, so this fucking guy has me hiking Wisdom Tree on the second date. I don't know if you've ever hiked Wisdom Tree or heard of it in LA. It's a mile, 2 miles max. It's a vertical hike to the Hollywood sign.
Oh no.
Not the thing that you want to do on a second date when you're trying to look nice for someone. I thought it was Fryman. Fryman Canyon is a 45-minute nice little trail, right? Okay, so we're hiking. He's in front of me. I am wet. It is dripping in my ass crack, in my toe cracks, on my face. Like, all of the cracks in my body are sweating. And he keeps turning around and like, hey, you having a good time? And I'm like, yeah, this is so great. Like, literally, I think I was wheezing for half of this date.
Okay, you said terribly horrific.
I mean, it was terribly horrific and it was fucking terrible. And then I came to the conclusion of, I don't like to do these things on my second date. I don't like to do extreme activity when I'm trying to get to know someone.
But it's devil's advocate here, calling you out because you said you.
I did.
hiking.
I said what I said. I said what I said, and I was not specific.
And he listened, and he planned, and he did the things, and you were like, "Fuck this."
It was we both after that date were like, this is going nowhere. It was fine, but
okay. But do you think if you wouldn't have went hiking or did something else, it would have not gone nowhere?
I mean, no. There were many other things that couldn't have gone in with that person.
Good.
But
that is so.
like, have you ever been on like a non-traditional date that you were like, next time be more specific, or I'm not doing these again?
Non-traditional date that I'm in
yoga class, going to the beach, hiking, walking, running, a pottery class.
Bitch, I wish.
Spoken word, their band
again,
playing.
Calling to the front of the episode, standards versus expectation.
I don't know.
I was like, a bitch wish she would be like go on some non-traditional dates. I have not gone that far in my dating life recently, and it makes me upset. I'm like, and so like for me, it's like I have to sit down with myself. I'm like, bitch, who are you picking? And how are you like setting yourself up and these individuals for success? Because clearly something is not, or just I'm not sure. I haven't been on non-traditional dates. Like the most things that happen for me are dinner, coffee dates, lunch. I non-traditionally date my friends. Like, we'll go on walks, we'll go to the beach, we do these things. And so my friendships are solid. And like going back to like my dating, I'm 10-10 for a coffee date. Like, a bitch is busy. Like, yes, please. I don't, like, as much as I love getting dolled up, going out to dinner, doing those things and being courted in that manner, if I'm given the opportunity to maybe, 30 minutes, like sit down, tea, I sometimes drink coffee, like a snack in the middle of the day, yes, please, because also when it's in the middle of the day, I'm not saying it can't happen, you run the risk of it falling into that you're just trying to get into my fucking pants. True.
Someone who is mostly the physical part of dating. I'm like, I don't care who you are. What are you doing here? What are we doing after this? Like, can we actually skip the date?
And so like it's really hard for me. I'm past that. Like I've never even been there. I try and ward that off, and I don't think I'm going to be contradicting myself here. I am trying to wait a little bit longer because in my personal experience, like the more sleeping together first has been on the front end of dating or a relationship, I'm realizing it fucking goes nowhere for me. Like, it's like, oh, I really, that's actually just what you wanted. You really just wanted to get in my pants. Fuck. So know what? I'm going to coffee because it's so much harder to get into my pants in the middle of the day.
It really is hard to get laid after having just coffee. So
I'm like, okay, I've got a plan.
Unless it's spiked coffee, but inappropriate.
Unless it's what?
Spiked coffee, sorry.
Oh. So I'm so with that, but I'm also falling into that. I'm not gonna make someone wait or like spend this amount. Like they're like, what is that saying?
You don't have the 3-date rule
of the 3-date rule. I don't have the like you need to spend this money. I don't think that there's a price tag on pussy unless you are actually paying for pussy. Like if you are like I'm like. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I'm not gonna have sex with you if you only pay for the $200 steak or the like.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm grown. If I want to sleep with you, I'm gonna fucking sleep with you. And like, if the connection is there, then that's what we gonna do. I'm gonna try. Like, if I really like you, it's gonna be that much harder for me.
True. I think when I made the switch from like, I'm having fun to like, oh, I should be an adult now and be in an adult relationship. I immediately switched from, yes, sleeping with people on the first date to having to be very like mindful of I'm not communicating to them, hey, we're not banging tonight. But mostly to myself internally was like, you are not having sex with this person. Do not. You need to like leave early.
Get to know them.
Get to know them first. And I will say that I did pressure a boyfriend on our first date to get intimate, and he was like, no.
So aggressive, Alyssa. God damn. You're like,
I know what I want in life sometimes. Not most of the time, but sometimes I do.
And that part, like, it makes it a little tricky. And you know what? I'm gonna say what I say, y'all. And you can at me if you want to, because I'm gonna stand by this. I also know it's been really difficult in like my real dating life to date because I am a sex worker. I do escort work, and
so you can't easily.
No, because I'm like, yo, I usually get paid for this. This is a waste of my fucking time. Like, are you kidding me?
See, that's exactly what.
And majority of the time, what has been wild to me, the men that are paying me have treated me better, and I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. So maybe I just don't date regularly anymore. And because when someone is investing their money like up front like that and the cards are on the table, it's like, oh, we're not playing games. Like, and that.
I mean, that sounds kind of really refreshing. In obviously this. In only that part.
That part. We get into this really interesting territory because Alyssa and I read a really interesting article.
I don't know if I would say really interesting, first of all.
Go ahead, Mama. Take it.
Okay, stay-at-home girlfriend. Not to be, or actually also to be confused with the stay-at-home wife, mom, whomever, whichever, in bottomy. Okay, so essentially, take a look at the article below and share your thoughts, feelings, and opinions.
Big eye roll. Anyway.
It really is. It's the idea that like a modern quote unquote term is the girlfriend who is there in the home. She keeps it clean, she does the laundry, she's there, but she may or may not work to contribute to anything. She's like the stay-at-home girlfriend. That's already, isn't that what
it's
has
a thing.
been done?
It's not a new trend.
Isn't that what was happening?
Yeah, I'm so mad at that article because like you're kidding me, right? This is not new whatsoever. And pardon me. That's an arrangement. You're in an arrangement. Do you actually want to be with this person, or were you only in it because he was going to financially take care of you? And that's fine. The both of them want it, like, okay. But don't say that this is new and, like, it's not. And then, like, dress it up as something else. And, like, what's interesting, it's becoming a fucking trend, and it makes me mad because I'm like, okay, like, it's trending on TikTok and social media of these women, you know, making videos of them, you know, waking up early and cooking for their partner.
I saw one that she got up at 2:30 to cook her fucking man chilaquiles and tortillas.
I'm like,
I threw my phone and I was like, Billy, why don't you wake up at 2:30 to make me chilaquiles and tortillas?
Because it's this expectation that is being created and like pumped out there for other, I'm gonna say girls, because I don't know women like this. Fuck that. This is some girl bullshit. Like, it offends me as a woman. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You want the most out of the least amount of effort. You want to be a child. And that you want to sit at home and do nothing, okay, whatever. But then there's that whole concept of your money is, like, his money is our money and my money is my money. First of all, shut your fucking mouth and stop telling secrets. Like, shut the fuck up! Stop telling and showing them the playbook. I'm so mad. think that way. A little bit.
Okay, when I was a military girlfriend, yes, I had a job and I paid for groceries and I kept the apartment clean and I whatever. He paid for the apartment thanks to the fucking US government.
Hello?
And other things, but like, yeah, I was a young girl living my worst best life. What a time. And I've had this conversation with Billy a couple times as we're like reaching new steps in our life together. Of, okay, so like whose money is whose money? What do we do? Like, my money is my money, his money is his money. When we decide to money together, that's like a choice that we money together. But his thing is like, one, we're not married, and I'm like, yes, that's right, okay, so we don't have to worry about that.
Hello?
But two, he's like, no matter what, like, we're making different amounts and we want different things. And in order to make those things work for the both of us, I'm gonna pay more for things that I want if I can. He's gonna pay more for things that he wants if he can, and those things don't have to necessarily affect the both of us financially.
Love that. I
know that not everyone also is that way because I have a friend who is also your money is my money and my money is my money, and I'm like, you know what, girl?
Like,
you will learn someday.
Hello? Like, I think marriage plays a big factor into that. Like, in a relationship, no. Your money's your money, your money's your money, and whatever things we decide to do together and put in to make things ours, awesome, great. But I do not expect, like, to have access to your money like that. Get the fuck out of here.
Unless you've gifted it to me because you are a trust fund baby, in which case our money is our money is my money. But like,
and then even like in marriage, like I do think there is that mentality of his money is our money and my money is my money. And yes and no.
It depends who makes more money. It depends who makes more money.
But I also believe that there is the, okay, yes, but it's still, you know, if something goes sideways or you need to come to me and is like, yo, babe, I'm like, of course. It's our
God forbid
money.
you lose a job. Like, yes.
Yes. It's like, no, we are in this together. At that point, our money is our money. Everything that we do as a partnership, it's like we got to pull from both resources if there's a hole in the ship somewhere. So, yeah, that blows my mind. But also, ladies, there are some things that we could really keep to our fucking selves. Anyway.
And on that note, before we go on any more tangents, let's push replay this week.
I'm trying to make sure, like, we got all our thoughts out. Like, so curious what you all think about, you know, modern dating and, you know, this whole stay-at-home girlfriend nonsense. Oh, yes, Alyssa.
Okay, I have one more plug. Okay, so we will link
we
will link the modern dating article.
Yes,
Please
yes,
read. I also stumbled across this article or this podcast is also kind of linked below. That goes through like what are we doing, quote, right and wrong about dating. And my biggest takeaway from this was that we should all be very specific, burn the place down to find the one thing that you're looking for. That is a really terrible sum up. Please listen to the podcast and share those thoughts below. But it was kind of mind blowing for me to listen of like, oh yes, women have traditionally taught one thing, men are taught a different thing, and it like merged together what we should all be doing to find a person if we're looking for the person. And if you're not, which is fine, sometimes you just want to play around, 10 out of 10, I recommend support that for you. But when you're ready and you know what you want, just be clear. That's it.
I love that. Like, I think you brought it to my attention a while back, still haven't done it, to burn the haystack to find the needle. Stop searching through it. Just fucking burn it.
Easier said than done.
Yep, that part. So moving on, we have our push replay. Y'all, thank you so much for all of the love on the previous episode. We missed you too. And like, it started like lovely conversations. I think, Alyssa, there's one specific comment.
Yes.
And I think actually there was a user, it was Veronica Wright. Actually, that's my aunt. Like, thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you.
I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know she watched. That's why I'm saying. Anyway, Alyssa, go.
Blessed. We love family supporting family. Okay,
Right.
so this comment comes from user QJ. I'm summing it up because I'm not reading all the letters and numbers. But the comment was, really enjoyed this topic. Didn't know there was a term for this, but definitely aware of the subject matter. So many gray areas which could be further explored. would love for you ladies to dive deeper into the emotional manipulation components. Thank you so much for commenting. Loved your opinion. I'm glad that it hit you in the way that it hit you. I'm not really sure. Emotional manipulation components
of the green, like when we were talking about
what a topic to dive into,
or the way in which like things can get emotionally manipulative and holding up these things, like that's gonna be a tough one. That might take us a while. We're gonna try. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna do it.
I feel
there
like
will be a part 2.
As someone who identifies as a woman, I know that I can be a very, very manipulative person if I like wanted to be, because I do think everyone can be manipulating, but I think that in many cases I have seen I personally just know some people who can be really emotionally manipulating that happen to also be female, and I'm like, oh wow, what
out there.
What a topic.
Like, it is a topic.
Yeah.
It is.
What a topic to try to be not biased about. Thank you for the thought-provoking comment that now I have to go do some therapy about.
That part. I'm like, oh, is it me? Oh, it might be. Anyway, okay. So yes, that was our push replay. That has been our episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, share.
Shout out to Rob, our producer.
Woo-woo.
Thank you so much for the music.
And
also Daniel Gordon and Chris Toliver.
Y'all, that's all we got. So we're gonna see you next week or next time.
Next time, drop anything else that you want us to talk about. I don't promise that we'll talk about it well, but we will do our best to articulate our thoughts, feelings, and opinions.
Okay, bye. I was like, we're not ready for weeks.